Hello Channel viewers, I'm DS, a psychologist, and welcome to another episode of Channel NITT. So we have got viewers asking us to do ENTP videos. So this is one of the ENTP videos that we're going to do. Incidentally, during the last month, RAIN and PSY, two Korean celebrities, came to Singapore to perform, and I was at their concert. So I did some research on MBTI websites. There was a poll on what MBTI types RAIN and PSY actually are. Incidentally, RAIN is most commonly typed as the ENTJ and PSY as the ENTP. Prior to going for the concert, I was a little bit reserved. Could RAIN really be an ENTJ? I'm very curious about it. But I was also very cautious about typing people on their performance. This is very simple logic. When you are displaying yourself to other people, you could be displaying a persona. And that is not necessarily who you really are. A lot of times when I am with my clients, I can be very bubbly. I can also portray myself as a very sociable person. But in actual fact, I am not sociable at all. So anybody who just observes me when I am at work may not really type me as an ENTJ. So in this case, when I went for the concert, I really want to know, would there be traits of the ENTJ and ENTP respectively I could actually sniff out during the concert? And I did. So it was a rather strange concert for me. I don't really attend concerts, so I do not know whether this is the norm. When you have two celebrities on the same stage, I expect them to have some interaction. But throughout the entire concert, RAIN and PSY did not interact. So RAIN had the first segment and PSY performed on the second segment. So before we start, I would say that both performers performed well and they gave very stellar performances, at least from my perspective. But it could be because they are very familiar with the numbers, so they have rehearsed their performances over different cities, different countries, in different languages for many, maybe hundreds or thousands of times. So it is something like a chicken feed to them. So that's why they look natural. The only difference between ENTJ RAIN and ENTP PSY is with how they interact with the audience. And the difference between the two of them is stark. It's a stark difference. So RAIN appeared to be very awkward addressing the audience. So he might just say things like, "Hello Singapore! I can't hear you. Can you be louder? Can you be louder? Is this the best you can do?" Stopped. He ends it there. Even though I would think that by the third time he prompted the audience to actually scream or shout, it was still not loud enough. But on the other hand, PSY was able to do this very well. I think maybe you can say that he's thick skinned or he has no sense of shame. So he would pause, he would solicit more response. He said, "I will not move if I don't get a satisfactory response from the audience." So the audience actually got hyped up. So in comparison, PSY was much better at hyping the audience. In fact, if I were to score RAIN upon 10 on interaction with the audience, I would just give him a 4 or 5. He was not very good at it. So towards the end of RAIN's performance, he told the audience that this would be his last number. So there was some grunting like amongst the audience. He performed the last number, and then after that, about 30 seconds later, he suddenly reappeared on stage. So one thing to note is that I am not a regular concert goer. My previous concert was in 2011, and that was with Sammy Ching. That was so long ago already. So it is 12 years later since I have another concert, this PSY and RAIN concert, and I don't really know what is going on. So after RAIN performed, I thought that it would end because he said that it was the last number. So he performed again. So that was supposed to be an encore. How did I know? Because PSY was actually very smart about this. He said that just now RAIN had his last song, he had an encore. I was like, did he have an encore? Oh, so that was an encore. But there wasn't an encore. There were no sound coming from the audience at all. But RAIN just came back and performed another song after he said that there was the last song. Conversely, PSY was quite intelligent, I think. He said that there was an encore. I want to hear a louder encore this time. Anyway, to PSY's advantage, he did not perform Gangnam Style at all. So we are all expecting him to perform that Gangnam Style song. So that he performed as the encore song. And in this case, Psy did interact with the audience and prompted them to make an encore. While Rain did not openly ask for an encore, and there was also no encore, Psy did ask for an encore explicitly. So comparing the two, I would say that ENTP is much more confident and comfortable addressing an audience that he may not be familiar with. I presume that both artists, because they are international artists, they would have gone to a lot of different cities. So speaking English to a certain level is not a problem to them. So we can disregard the barrier of English as a language. So it is how you address the audience that makes the difference between the ENTJ and the ENTP. As an ENTJ, I think I am also likely to be like Rain. I find it very awkward to address people that I do not know. So I may just say, I can't hear you one more time. But what I'm actually doing is I am only going through the motion. Why is the ENTJ actually behaving this way? That is due to TE dominant. So if Rain is typed correctly as an ENTJ, then he would have TE as a dominant function. TE is the ability to think from many different points of view, including that of the audience. So if I were in the audience, I personally do not like to shout. I am not hyped up. I do laugh if you have humorous jokes, but generally I don't shout or I don't cheer. So if I were an ENTJ, I would also assume that my audience is like me because this is projection at work. Therefore, I don't feel very good asking people to cheer for me because as an audience, I don't cheer. This is also why ENTJs make very lousy door-to-door salespeople. Because why? We don't buy from salespeople usually. So it makes us very hard to ask people to buy from us if we are door-to-door salesperson. On the other hand, I think ENTPs do not have this kind of a barrier because they don't use TE at all. They will think from their own point of view and they have a lot of different ways to entertain. I think as an entertainer, Psy is much more entertaining, but both of them are great. They are spectacular in their performances, they give their 100%. But it's just that I think ENTJs may not be very suited to become a celebrity of sorts because they are weak in this area. But nonetheless, I think Rain is still an excellent performer. I enjoyed his part as well as Psy's. ENTJs really need to warm up before they show their true self, but ENTPs don't need to. So ENTPs are very readily able to display who they really are, very spontaneously. But ENTJs, they don't. So throughout that 45-minute segment, I think the ENTJ Rain did not warm up enough to actually showcase his glamour, but Psy really did because they are faster to showcase themselves and they are very keen to do so. It's not that the ENTJ is not humorous, but because the ENTP is able to warm up faster, the ENTP showcases his sense of humor, his spontaneity really well in this case. Anyway, viewers, do you like K-pop and do you like Psy and Rain? So if you have also been to their concert, did you realize this difference between the two of them? So I would really like to hear from you. Do share in the comment section below. So at Channel NITT, we produce a lot of ENTJ, MBTI videos such as this one. If you've enjoyed, do give us a like. If you have not already subscribed, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more ENTJ, INTJ, MBTI and fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you in our next episode. Bye bye!